37 President Trump's tariffs, and tonight the U.S. and China sending conflicting messages over President Trump's tariffs, upending global President Trump's tariffs, and tonight the U.S. and China President Trump's tariffs, and tonight the U.S. and China sending conflicting messages over President Trump's tariffs, upending global markets and the U.S. economy. After President Trump insisted the two sides were actively discussing tariffs, China calling it fake news, a Chinese official saying there have been no talks. Rachel Scott is at the White House.
Get along very well.
Tonight, China pushing back hard on a claim President Trump has been making for days, that negotiations to end the trade war are well underway.
Are you talking to them actively now?
Actively. Everything's active.
But tonight, China calling that, quote, fake news. A top Chinese official saying, quote, as far as I know, China and the United States have not held consultations or negotiations on the tariff issue, let alone reached an agreement. Today, reporters pressing the president.
Can you clarify with whom the U.S. is speaking with China? They're saying it's fake news that trade talks are happening.
Well, they had a meeting this morning, so I can't tell you. It doesn't matter who they is. We may reveal it later, but they had meetings this morning.
He never did reveal that information. It comes with the president under increasing pressure to bring the trade war he started to a close. Major retailers like Target and Walmart have warned him shelves could go empty in a matter of weeks if he keeps in place his staggering 145% tariffs on goods from China. His own Treasury Secretary acknowledges the tariffs amount to an embargo. Already shipments from China starting to dry up. The number of cargo ships arriving from China into the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach next week will be down 29%. And as President Trump approaches 100 days in office, a new AP poll out tonight shows only 37% of Americans approve of how he's handling the economy, a key factor in his election victory. And the same number, just 37%, approve of how he's handling trade negotiations.
Hi folks, so shortages are coming for the United States of America. This is serious now. For the most part, so far we've seen the effect of tariffs on the markets. But we're going to start seeing things in real terms. We're going to start seeing empty shelves in the markets, in the stores in the United States. So according to the CEO of Flexport, container bookings are down nearly 60%. If the tariffs are not lifted soon, it would make there's going to be a $2 trillion hit on the U.S. economy. The failure of possibly tens of thousands of U.S. businesses, and literally hundreds, if not millions, of job losses. This is where things start to get real for the United States of America. The Port of LA, is now seeing a 10% less ships than this time last year. And that's a big deal, 10%. Of the week of May the 4th, in regards to ships that are coming into the port, they are currently seeing a 35% less ships coming into the port. Trucking out of the Port of LA, trucking so far out of the Port of Los Angeles is down 23% compared to this time last year. And some analysts believe that if it continues the way things are going at the moment, it could be as much as 50% by May. This is crazy. If nothing changes, ports are going to get very quiet. And this is what's going to happen. You're going to see empty shelves in every store in the United States. You're not going to be able to get stuff. Okay, this is serious, folks. It really is. Folks, the source for this is Axios and also the Port of Los Angeles. My name is Nick. I'd love you guys to give me a follow. Let me know what you think in the comments. I promise you, this is not scaremongering. This is statistical evidence from the Port of Los Angeles.
All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Daniel 12 and verses 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation even to that time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So we're approaching that time. You heard the video, okay? There will be shortages in the stores, okay? 2nd Esdras 6 and 22. So this is pointing to the great tribulation. Okay. 2nd Esdras 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be suddenly be found empty. Okay, read that again. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, and that's where we're headed. Okay, as prophesied. All right, there's an approaching famine. Okay, approaching shortage of medications, all right, that are coming, all right, because they've also Hong Kong that makes a lot of the medications has decided not to ship none over to America. Okay, Ezekiel 14 and 13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it, and will break the staff of bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast. All right. So we reached that point where there's going to be famine, war, pestilence, all the things that the Lord has spoke of. All right. Matthew 24. Let's go ahead and read it. All right, Matthew 24 and verses 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. So that's what's coming upon the earth. All right, and it has arrived. Okay. All right. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 16 and 37. All right. The Lord said he would bring these plagues. 2nd Esdras 16 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, and with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb. Which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack that come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay, so the Lord is pretty much continuing to put plagues upon this place, just like he said he would. Okay, 2nd Esdras 15 and verses 1. All right, we'll go down to verse 5 and get right to the point. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, so the Lord is going to continue to bring these plagues. It's going to be constant problems going on in Babylon the Great, because the Lord is not going to heal Babylon. America will never be great again. All right, it's the will of the Lord to bring down Babylon. Okay, let's go ahead and read that. At Jeremiah 51, it says he would have healed Babylon, but it's not going to be healed. All right, Jeremiah 51 verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be she may be healed. Okay, that means you can put, keep trying to patch it up. All right, he's trying to patch it up with these tariffs. Okay, so that bring down that 35 trillion in debt. Okay, but verse 9 says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So America is not going to be healed. The Lord is judging this place. All right. Okay. And a lot of products we're not going to be able to get. All right. All right. And the Lord consistently warns us of this thing, you know, that he is going to bring this judgment. And it's going to be pretty hard. I mean, the prices are going to be sky high on food real soon. All right. And the Lord said this will happen. So the Lord said he would protect his servants. All right. All right. Proverbs chapter 1. And I think it's 24. All right. These words have gone out to the masses across the internet. All right. Saying you're Israelite, return back to the Lord. Okay. This is one of the reasons why we're warning you, because we know through the prophecy, it says there's going to be a great famine. The Lord's going to bring these plagues, and therefore the great tribulation is going to cause a situation where people are not going to be able to eat, okay, because they're not going to have the food, the supplies and resources that they used to have. Right now we can see how it's unfolding. All right, Proverbs 1 and 24, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set at not at all my counsel and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. So when this thing goes down, just know that it's the judgment of the Lord. When you can't afford food, when you can't, get the supplies that you need. All right. All right. When your fear cometh, verse 27, as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. So let you know that the grace of Yahweh Shai has a expiration point, time period. It will end. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Okay, and that being the point. And let's go here to 2nd Esdras 15. All right, and verses 14. Yeah, I always read this because it's spot on to what's coming, and this is what the Lord has said is going to happen. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, so there's going to be civil wars and so forth, civil unrest that's coming, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because they're going to have martial law. They're going to have troops, right? And lockdowns, right? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. All right. Make America great again. Okay. You guys going to have to pay us for your shipping your goods over here to America. Okay. Because we got to make America great again. Right. 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. Okay. Because of the pride. Okay. Again, he had to put these tariffs out of pride. Okay. All right. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and this being the point, but shall destroy the houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. Because of lack of bread, that this is going to go down. A lot of people are going to they're going to lose it. All right. During this time. All right, but the Lord told us to seek him, and we would eat. All right, we'd be able to eat. Isaiah 65, because these food shortages are going to happen, right? It says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord, Isaiah 65 and 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain. Okay, you don't serve the Lord, right? That prepare a table for that troop. Okay, we know that if once they declare an emergency, a national emergency, they're going to send a national guard, right? And that furnish the drink offering unto that number, so the Lord is going to sacrifice you, right? Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Okay, verse 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord power shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. All right, so with that, I say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.